Hello, Riggs High students. This is Mrs. Kringle, your librarian. Today I'm going to walk you through the SIRS Issues Researchers database. SIRS Issues Researcher is a research database filled with thousands of full-text articles exploring social, scientific, health, historic, business, economic, political, and global issues. If you aren't sure what research topic might interest you, SIRS is a great place to start, as it is organized by issues and related guiding questions. So I'm going to show you right now how to get to SIRS. To get to SIRS, we need to be on the Pierre School District homepage, which is pierre.k12.sd.us. Once you're on the homepage, we're going to put our mouse over the word schools. You'll see the 5 schools in our district. We're going to go down to TF Riggs High School, and then we're going to mouse over to TF Riggs Library. Once you're on the library page, to get to the SIRS Issues Researcher database, we're going to go to this tab right here that says Riggs Research Resources. Once you click on that, you'll see a heading on the right-hand side that says South Dakota State Library Databases. These are all databases provided to you through the South Dakota State Library. The South Dakota State Library pays $1 million a year for the citizens of South Dakota to use these databases. So they aren't free. You can't just go out to the internet and type in SIRS and start searching it. You have to come in through a library page, either the South Dakota State Library page or my Riggs High School page. So I want to show you how to get to SIRS. We're going to scroll down. This is an alphabetical listing of databases. We're going to scroll down until we get to the S's. So we're going to have to go quite a bit down the page. And when we do, you'll see SIRS Issues Researcher. Because the South Dakota State Library pays for the citizens of South Dakota to use it, and they're not paying for citizens in California or Washington to use it, in order to know that you are a citizen of South Dakota, your device has to be within the state boundaries of the state of South Dakota. As long as you are in Pierre or Aberdeen or Watertown or Sioux Falls or Rapid City, as long as you are in a town in South Dakota, in the boundaries of the state of South Dakota, you can use any of these databases without needing a barcode or password. If you plan to travel, like let's say you're going to go to North Dakota to visit family and you want to use one of these databases, you absolutely can do that, but you will need a barcode and password in order to do that. So if you're planning to travel outside of South Dakota, please come see me and I'll give you the Riggs High School barcode and password so you can use them while you're traveling. But we're going to go here today to SIRS Issues Researcher and we're going to click on that. Okay. SIRS is a full-text article database. That means when you're searching it, you are not searching the internet. Rather, you're searching a closed database of magazine and newspaper articles from reputable and reliable sources. You can search SIRS using keyword search terms. You would just put them right into this search box, just like you would if you were out on Google. So if I'm going to do a search on AIDS, okay, so let's say that I'm interested in that topic. You'll notice that it's trying to be helpful. SIRS is. It's offering me different suggestions of topics, but what I'm interested in is AIDS. So I'm going to do a search on that topic, and I'm going to hit this magnifying glass right up here. And it came up with 34,503 results. So probably not my best search term. I probably need to add a keyword. So I'm going to do a search on the AIDS quilt. Let's see what comes up if I do that. I've got 176 results for the AIDS quilt, which is a very interesting and amazing art project that was created. Quilt squares were created for people who had passed away from AIDS and were assembled into a large quilt. It's absolutely beautiful. This is a picture of it. And it's been displayed in many places. This time it's displayed on in Washington, D.C. There, you can see the White House in the background. Just an absolutely incredible piece of art and a memorial to people who passed away from AIDS. Below that, you can see lots of articles that appeared in different newspapers and magazines about the AIDS quilt. Okay, so you can certainly search SIRS just like you would Google by typing in your search terms or your keywords up here and hitting search. But remember, when you're searching it, you are not searching the internet. What you are searching is the enclosed database of SIRS, which is only magazines, newspapers, books, web resources, government sources, scholarly journals. That's what you're going to be retrieving. You're not going to be retrieving websites that haven't been vetted for accuracy. Let's head back to the home page. And to do that, over here on the left-hand side, you'll see the ProQuest SIRS Issues Researcher link. If you go ahead and click on that, that will take you back to the home page. SIRS is not only a database that you can search by keywords. What's really neat about SIRS is it's organized by topics. It's a pro-con database. So what they've done is gone out and found contemporary issues and set it up in a pro-con format for you. They're finding the trending topics. They're finding the ones that are the most popular right now. So like, for example, under trending topics, you can see one of the topics right now is the coronavirus. So if I click on that, it takes me to information about the coronavirus. Okay, it's a leading issue. I'm going to go back to the home page here. In addition to clicking on here, you can also click on home. You'll see they have the trending topics that they think are the hot topics right now in the news. They have the editor's pick, some things they think you might not think about, but might find interesting. And then they have their topics divided by broader topics. There are subtopics divided by broader topics covering business and economics, civil rights and liberties, communication and technology, crime and punishment, drugs, health and wellness, environment and science, ethics, school, family and youth, world culture and politics, and all leading issues. You can click on any of these and it will take you to some subtopics. I really like to, when I'm searching SIRS, I really like to go to all leading issues. You can either get to it there. I also want to show you another place on SIRS you can get to it. Right up here is a heading. If you're not inclined to use the graphics, these leading issues will take you to the same things that the graphics do. I'm going to go to all leading issues. You can either look at it as trending, what's hot right now, last updated. These are the ones that they updated the most recently with new information. Or the way I like to look at it is A to Z, because for me, it's more organized that way. And now I can look at all the different topics they have on that. Now, I could, again, narrow it down by subtopic if I want, or if I just want to browse, I can look through here. And I would encourage you, especially if you're kind of wondering what you might like to do for a research project, would be to start just browsing the A to Z, just because there's so many interesting topics that you may not even think of. I love this one's really interesting to me, and I had never thought about it until I looked at SIRS, art and cultural repatriation. So let's take a look at that, see what that is. Okay, right here it says, and what it is this is a leading issue. So they've already organized the articles and organized the information on this topic. Gives you a description. It says art repatriation is the return of art and cultural artifacts to their country of origin or to their rightful owners and their heirs. These looted arts and artifacts are displayed in museums around the world. Sometimes looted art is given back to its country of origin. Mostly requests for repatriation are denied. The plundering of cultural heritage has occurred since ancient times, when the Roman army looted marble columns, bronze statues, and other treasures during their conquest. So then below that, they have this guiding question. Should museums repatriate ancient artifacts to their country of origin? So there's a guiding question for you to think about. Then they present you a viewpoint 1, which says it is unethical for countries to keep artifacts from their country of origin. Then they give you viewpoint 2. Artifacts are part of a universal human experience and do not need to be returned to their country of origin. So there's 2 different viewpoints on this question or this topic of should museums repatriate ancient artifacts to their country of origins. Some people say yes, some people say no. Underneath it are articles that support either viewpoint 1 or viewpoint 2. And to look at any of these, you can click on them. Here's what is also awesome is below that you see even more critical questions. What I think is really interesting about this topic, okay, is it ever justified that countries keep colonial area artifacts? Should artifacts acquired in war or other violent situations be considered stolen? Interesting questions, really interesting questions. And what's great about this question and these further critical questions down here is you could use them to help you guide and create your thesis statements, okay? Or your question that's going to guide your research. So I think that's great. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. They have some questions here you might not have even thought of. Then they have a timeline down here for this particular topic. So all leading topics are laid out that way, but they don't just have 6 articles on this topic, okay? If you'll look right here, there's a link that says find more sources for art and cultural repatriation. That is a link. If you put your mouse over it, it becomes a hand. If you click on that, look, it's got 217 results for it. And this is all sorts of articles about that topic. Really, really interesting. Here you can see that 85 of the results are newspapers, 49 are magazines, 3 are images, 2 are books. There's a web resource. There's 60 government sources, 5 scholarly journals, and other sources. There are 12 of them. How awesome is that to find all this information? And look, these are so recent. Look, this one's from 2018. This is from 2019. So you've got some really interesting articles that are very current and would make great research. If you just want to look at what's been in the newspapers about this topic, you can click there. And now you put on a filter, so you're only looking at 85 of those 200 results. And these are all from different newspapers. This one came from the Wall Street Journal. This is from the New York Times. Let's go and look at after centuries of cultural theft, why more nations are returning. This is from the Christian Science Monitor from March 13th, 2018. If I click on this, it takes me to the actual article itself. You can actually listen to someone read this article to you if you want to by clicking that listen button. First off, it gives you a summary, tells you what the article is about. So right away, you can even determine whether or not it's going to be useful. Here's the full text of the article. And then at the bottom, which I think is really, really interesting, here are the subjects they're using. So you could use this to build a keyword list that you could then go and search in the search box if you want. So let's say what really interests you about this is art thefts. This is actually a link. If you want to go in there, you can click on that and it will take you to information about art thefts. I want to look at the top of the paper though, up here, because right here is where we call these your function keys. You can save this article to the cloud, meaning to Google Drive, Google Classroom, etc. You can print it and you can email it. I really encourage you as you're starting your research and doing your research that if you've come across an article that you think might be interesting and that you might use, that you go ahead and print it or email it to yourself right away, because sometimes it's hard to get back to that article that you found that was so perfect if you don't print it or email it to yourself right away. So go ahead and do that, even if you end up not using it. There's also a cite function because this is a database. All of the information in it is going to be cited. So we can click on Cite right here. And here it comes up and it defaults to the Modern Language Association, the 8th edition, which is what we use here at Riggs High School. And it gives you the citation for that. You can copy this citation and put it in your citation list, for your bibliography for your language arts teacher. But it's really important, though, that before you just copy and paste, that you check it and make sure that it's accurate. And what a citation does is it just gives credit, tells your reader where your information came from. So, for example, this is telling us that the article we just read was by Husna Haq. The title of the article was After Centuries of Cultural Theft, Why More Nations Are Returning. And it didn't get quite all of the title in there. It says ... okay, and that closed in quotation marks. It appeared in the Christian Science Monitor on the 13th of March, 2008, and we looked at it on SIRS Issues Researcher, okay? And here is the article or website for that particular article. And so this is an awesome feature of databases, and I highly encourage you to use that. It also is giving you right over here some related documents, which are articles that are saying, SIRS is saying, if you like this article, here are some more that you might like. So you could go ahead and click on any of those as well. So I just encourage you to take a look at those related documents and to take a look at these related subjects. Again, these are links, so you can click on them to get to different articles, or you can use it to build your keyword list, okay? So I'm just going to go back here. It's important to remember if you apply a filter before you go and do a new search that you remove that filter. So I'm going to remove the newspaper filter and I'm back to my 217 results. Okay. So SIRS Issues Researcher is just an awesome database for finding information. I highly, highly encourage you to use that. If you're uncertain or unsure about your research topic, you're not really sure what you want to do, because it exposes you to a lot of topics you may not have considered. Definitely check it out if you're going to do a pro-con argument paper, or if you just want an idea of a topic to try that you had never considered before. If you need further assistance in how to use SIRS, please come find me in the Riggs library. Have an awesome evening.